in the Eastern Cape is being assisted by a light drizzle. There are still active fires that are being fought. More rain is predicted for the region into tomorrow. The nearly 400 firefighters will use the favourable conditions to get the fire under control and extinguish it where possible. The fire has led to a number of evacuations over the weekend, but the break in the weather has given the firefighters an edge. The fire started on the 23rd of October, but that was contained 4 days later. A second fire was sparked by lightning on the 29th of October. The fire is currently spread over 80 kilometres from Coldstream in the west to Palmivleit in the east and has affected an area of 40,000 hectares. Currently, no communities are under threat. The key focus areas remain Coldstream, Storms River and Clarkson. Firefighters have also managed to keep the fire out of the Tsitsikamma National Park. Well, for more on this story, we cross to our reporter, Lerato Tipa, who is in Tsitsikamma for us. Thanks very much, Lerato. Oh, I see it's quite chilly out there. Just give us the latest update.
Chile puts it mildly, Nompi. What started off as light drizzle has now officially become rain, and I'm sure the firefighters, the more than 385 firefighters who were deployed to this area, are definitely rejoicing because there is now a lot of rain falling in this area. When we arrived here about an hour ago, we spoke to the spokesperson, Nandi, who told us that in the most parts of Tsitsikamma, the fires have been contained. If I just step a bit away from the shot and allow my cameraman just to show you, there's a little area called the Gorge, which is close to Tsitsikamma, where there was a light fire that was flaring a few minutes ago. That has been contained as well. And the only concern about that fire was that if it had actually grown even stronger, it would have gone to an area called the Deck, which is where most tourists in this area actually go to. This area specifically that we are in this morning is an area called Tsitsikamma National Park, where we have seen already tourists making their way. There's actually a couple from Germany who were saying that they almost cancelled their booking because they were afraid that the fire would actually flare and their holiday be cancelled. But good news, like I was saying, Nombi, that it is raining. The weather gods are loving us, making sure that this beautiful area, which is a prime spot for tourists, is not damaged by the fires. So the area really not covered by fires anymore, and most of the fires that were flaring since the 23rd of October throughout the Tsitsikamma area have been contained. But for more about the latest on the fire, we're joined by the regional spokesperson, the manager, Nandi. Tell us briefly exactly how is the situation looking like now in Tsitsikamma?
The situation around the national park, Tsitsikamma section of the Gondrud National Park, is that the fire behind Pietersville, which is a staff village, is contained. It was contained yesterday, which is great news. But there is a flare-up above the gorge, as you can see, where the camera showed you. And that is the area that is of concern. The weather is on our side in a sense that it's about 11 degrees Celsius today, and we're expecting about 6 millimeters of rain. It's looking all right. The weather is good in a sense that we can deploy more ground staff or ground crews to actually address the mop-ups that are necessary in other areas. And we've got aerial support. I know the cloud cover has just gone down, but we've got aerial support from SANDF and working on fire.
Now, there are people obviously that are evacuated due to the smoke, not only to the fires. Are those people going back home, and also is the situation there also being contained?
I think the situation there is contained. About 12,000, above 12,000 people who were evacuated or affected by the fires in the Eastern Cape. The district is looking into whether the people can return home or not. But in most areas, we can say that the fire is contained, especially in areas around the park. Bosco, MTO land, and also in the townships, so Thornham, Nompumelelo, and the other areas right around the park.
Now, is there an indication for now as to what is causing the fire? I know that last year we saw the Knysna fires, and again a year later, the same fires again in George Knysna and Tsitsikamma. Any indication so far from the firefighters as to what is causing this fire year on?
That's still under investigation at the moment. I think that our priority is to concentrate all resources in fighting the fires. We do know that 11 days ago, on the 23rd of October, the first fire started in the Lottering area in Tsitsikamma, and we know that 2 days later there was a lightning strike and two other fires. We had to address two other fires, and then it snowballed from there. But the cause of the different fires and the source of them will have to be investigated further.
So people that want to come and tour here know that the festive season has officially started in Nelson Mandela Metro and obviously here. So tourists that want to come here, are you just saying that now all is clear that people can come and just view this beautiful place?
Yes, the park has been open. We did close it last week a little bit when the fires flared on the N2. The N2 is open. The Otter Trail is open. Just day 2 of the Otter Trail was affected by the fires. But the Mouth Trail, which goes through the suspension bridge, is also open. And all other hiking trails in the Tsitsikamma open, and so is accommodation. It's not affected. And we are hoping that the good weather is actually on our side and that we can contain the fires further.
Well, that was the regional manager for the Sand Park, Tsitsikamma National Park, saying that it's all systems go, that the fires around the Tsitsikamma have been contained. Also inviting tourists from all around the country who every single year use this park for tourist purposes to come and enjoy the scenic views in this place, saying that in the next 2 days they are hoping for more rain, that once that comes, that fires all around the area will be completely turned down, and that the flare-ups as well will be contained. So it's good news from Tsitsikamma that the fires all around have been contained, and that the good weather in the next 2 days will definitely give an 80% clearance of all the fires. It's back to you in studio.
Good news for a change. Thanks very much for that, Lurato.